Hey guys, welcome to Write Bites, a series of 10-minute episodes on writing, marketing, and freelancing. In today's episode, I'm going to be covering 4 different ways you can increase your retention as a freelance writer. We're talking about getting contracts with clients that last longer, pay more, and are ultimately something that you can build your business around instead of having to scramble for new gigs month after month after month. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. This episode of Write Bites is sponsored by Copyai, a toolkit that helps writers, marketers, and freelancers skip writer's block completely and quickly generate first draft copy for themselves and their businesses by harnessing the power of GPT-3 artificial intelligence. If you'd like to try out Copyai for yourself, head on over to copy.ai/Jacob and you can get a 30-day free trial. Okay guys, let's dive in. We're going to be covering 4 different ways that you can increase retention for your business as a freelance writer. And the first is relatively simple. Focus on types of copywriting that facilitate retainers. One thing I've noticed with a lot of new copywriters is they tend to gravitate towards types of copywriting that are a little bit more one-off, talking particularly like website copy, landing page and sales page copy, even stuff like email sequences, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with this. We're going to be covering a way you can leverage these types of gigs for more retention. But the simplest way to increase retention is simply to focus on the types of gigs that result in ongoing work. So in particular, we're talking about blog writing. We're talking about email broadcast or types of email writing that are ongoing things, sales for e-commerce that need to be run every few weeks, or broadcast emails that are designed to just nurture audiences, and stuff that needs to be generated new each week. And blogs are obviously the most common example here because you cannot get value from any given blog post without having a lot more blog posts. So any client that's knows what they're doing and is paying for blog content, they're going to be paying for blog content pretty much forever. So if you want more retention, going in and finding gigs built around these services that kind of have retention baked into them is a great strategy. Because then you do the work to land a new client, and you didn't just land a client that you're going to have to replace next month. If you land a blogging client this month, if you can do a good job for them and they know what they're doing from a content marketing perspective, you could be working with them for the next 5 years. So that's step number 1. If you really want to increase retention, focus on types of copy that are built for retention. Number 2, look to add relevant retainers to the types of copy that you're already doing. So for example, we just mentioned website copy as a bad gig for retention. But what if you had an offer that was an ongoing retainer offer that really fit well with website copywriting? For example, what if you were to offer for $100 a month, being available to do tweaks and little minor edits to the website, or maybe $250 a month or $500 a month, depending on the size of the business or how active the business is changing their website. There's little things like that where you can potentially be making money every single month, sometimes without even having to do anything. If you're working with a lot of small businesses, they're probably happy to pay $100 a month to have someone immediately there to make changes as needed. And a lot of those months, they probably won't even be utilizing, your services. So you could potentially get in a scenario here where, you have 10, 20 businesses all paying you between $100 to $200 a month for a few hours of work a month. And, that can add up to some pretty good ongoing income. Whereas before, maybe you did the initial project and then you never really heard from these clients again. So looking for stuff like that, places where you can, add in a retainer. I mentioned earlier a welcome sequence. If you really specialize in doing like particular sequences for companies, well, that's a great way to also try to sell them a email retainer where they're hiring you to do their broadcast emails every month as well. So any place where you can take what you're currently offering and look to upsell or add in some sort of lower priced retainer could be super effective. Number three, this one seems super obvious, but to be honest, I really don't see it a lot in freelancing, and that is to treat every client like a VIP. To really give them the VIP experience. And what I mean by that is really looking to cater the delivery of your services to the client and the client's needs. This is one of those things that a lot of freelancers are very resistant to. There's sort of the type of mentality that tends to attract freelancers is not wanting to be at someone's beck and call, wanting to have really strong boundaries, wanting to kind of run your own business and be your own professional and interact with people more as peers than as like a subservient type of employee relationship like maybe you had at your old job. And while there's nothing inherently wrong about that, the reality I see today is a lot of freelancers interact with their clients with sort of this mentality that's like, hey, I don't need you, you're just a number to me. You're just one person. I'm going to do my thing for you, and my work is super valuable. You're lucky to have me type of a thing. And again, it's not that that's inherently wrong. It's more that if you go too much to that extreme, that's exactly the feeling your client's going to get, is that you don't particularly care about them. They don't particularly matter to you, and you're not really interested in going above and beyond to provide a great experience for them. And while, again, you're free to run your business however you want, that type of attitude doesn't lend to someone wanting to stick around and be a long-term client. I was talking with my friend Mike Blankenship the other day, and Mike has some of the best retention of any freelancer I've ever come across. He has multiple clients who pay him a pretty premium rate and have been working with him every month for more than 3 years. And I was asking him, like, how do you get such great retention? And his answer was pretty much just that. He treats every client with the intent of keeping them around for years, and that looks like providing them with VIP treatment. He charges the price that he wants to make, and then within that, he doesn't quibble or get arrogant or egotistical about little details. If they come to him looking for a really fast turnaround on something, he looks to try to hit the deadline for him. If things get too extreme where it's just showing poor processes on their end, then obviously he'll address it. But he's not looking to quibble. He's not looking to be like the boss with them. He's just looking to give them amazing service and go out of his way to make things as simple and easy for them as possible. Obviously, one of the greatest things about running your own business is you can do it on your own terms. But if you're not getting the results you want, if clients aren't sticking around, if you're having to just really go to extreme lengths on lead gen to offset not having any retention, then maybe it's time to, drop your ego a little bit and look to be a bit more of a client-focused service provider. Number 4, just as simple, just as obvious, but again, I see so few freelancers doing this, and I'm guilty of it as well. Ask for referrals. Always, always, always ask for referrals. At the end of every project, before you get too deep into offboarding, ask. Make the ask. You aren't going to get referrals from every single client, but ask and follow up. Look to get them as often as possible. I'm telling you right now, the best clients, the longest term clients, the easiest to retain clients, on almost every conceivable metric of what makes a client a great client, it's almost always better via referral. Referrals trust you more. They're looking to pay more. They're looking to work with you longer. They're often looking for higher quality work. Obviously, there are exceptions, but just in general, most of your best clients will come through referrals. And if you talk to almost any freelancer, you're going to find that's true. So any chance you can get to generate referrals through your existing clients, you want to look to do that. You want to proactively look to do that at every opportunity. So let's review real quick. Number 1, focus on types of copywriting that lend themselves to retention, to retainers, to ongoing work. Number 2, if you're already focused or specialized in a particular type of copy that's not particularly great with retention, or isn't really ongoing, look for some sort of ongoing writing need that is connected to what you're already doing that you can offer the client. Number 3, treat every client like a VIP. Without crossing, your own important boundaries, look to be as flexible as you can be to provide a really great experience for the client wherever possible. Go the extra mile to give them a fantastic experience. Number 4, look to get referrals wherever and whenever you can. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next episode.